Welcome to Admissions 2018 program. I'm your host, Mr. Clinton Sukuru. And with me is Madam Gladys Mwangi, Principal, Compuera Girls. Good morning, Madam.
Good morning, Clinton.
Welcome to this program today, whereby this is the Admission 2018 program, and the main objective of this program is to demystify the concept that privatization of education is not helpful in our society. And number two is to create awareness of 100% transition from primary, secondary to the university in terms of the private sector. And finally is to market individual schools, especially the private schools, which are under serious attack in our country. Thank you. Maybe a quick one. What is your view on quality of education in our country as it stands now?
I believe that there is a lot that needs to be done. Being in high school, we get young people who don't know the basics, and the basics in terms of life, for example, cleaning, taking care of themselves, and therefore I believe that our education should be more holistic, and this is what we offer. We try to offer actually because it should be offered at an earlier stage, but it's not. The other thing that I think is important for quality education is the ratio between the teacher and the students. I have been in public schools, and you'll find that in some schools, a class of 55 being handled by one teacher is not really something you would want, because much as the teacher may be willing, she or he can't reach the 55 in a lesson of 40 minutes. But you find that in most private schools, we have fewer, smaller classes. For example, in our school, classes of 25 students.
1 to 25.
1 to 25, one teacher to 25, and so the teacher can reach each one of the students. You can also have contact after the lesson.
That means that you are able to perform individualized learning and supervise the learning.
Yes, actually we call it personal. We have personal contact.
Personalized learning.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's good. What is your perspective on textbook ratio in our schools, especially the private schools? The
private schools, I can only say about our school, yes. Every student has her own textbook for every subject.
Wow.
Yes. And that is the best I would go for, because then there is no time wasting. Because you have your own materials, you have your own resources, and you just get them at the snap of a finger. When the teacher asks, you get your book. But in other places where you may find that a book is being shared, the child has to move to the girl next to her or the student next to him so that they can share the book. And also, it's not easy to use that book later on, because when you need it, I might be needing it too.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Part of the tenets of quality education is that we must have quality teachers. I do not know what category of the teachers do you hire?
We hire graduate teachers, but a quality teacher does not necessarily mean a degree or a diploma. It is more than that. A quality teacher is a teacher who is passionate, a teacher who is enthusiastic, a teacher who is willing to help the child, not just to pass education, to pass academically, but so that the teacher can impart so many other skills like interpersonal skills, life skills, and you want to mold this child. It's not just making the child get an A. So for us, we go for those teachers that are passionate, enthusiastic, much more than just the degree and the diploma.
Very good on that. However, I know this is a wake-up call for the Sustainable Development Goals, whereby we're insisting that we have to provide quality education to promote lifelong learning. Let me get your opinion on what is your view in terms of the girls' performance in terms of sciences and mathematics? We've seen the girl child, especially the semester, we've seen reports in case the girl child are performing poorly. What's your take on that?
It is true that the girls don't perform as well as the boys in sciences and mathematics. But the problem is not the gender. The problem is our society.
Okay.
We start from the very early formative years teaching our children, intentionally or unintentionally, that there are things they can't do or they can do simply because they are either boys or they are girls. You see, when you instill these ideas in your child's mind, even as she grows, let me talk about the girl. As the girl grows, she grows knowing that there are things I shouldn't do because I'm a girl, and if I do this, I'll be seen as a boy. So some of these things are now the sciences and mathematics. Even as teachers, we preach it either directly or indirectly that their mathematics and sciences are for boys. How do we do this? For example, I've been in boys' schools whereby you'll find the teachers telling the boys, why aren't you doing well in mathematics? How are you? You are behaving like a girl. You know, that makes the boy believe that this is for me. If a girl hears that, she believes that that is not for me. Then also, when we tell the girls there are things they can't do because they are meant for boys, they grow up knowing, I can do this. Engineering is a science. So engineering is for boys. That is what we are told. What are you digging? You know, why are you doing this? These are boys' things. So I believe deep down that boys and girls can do equally well in sciences and mathematics. It's the thinking that we need to change. To
change our thinking and our mindset.
Yes.
And from what you're saying, I can get that you're saying that these are gender stereotypes in our society.
Yes.
In other words, we need a wake-up call to gender mainstreaming to ensure that we do sensitize our society that girls and boys are equal.
And it is deeply rooted. It will require a lot of work.
Thank you. On that, maybe a very important tenet is talent exploitation. And I don't know, as a school, what are you doing to get out or map out the talent of the girls that you are teaching, and how do you link them up with the people in the industry in terms of talent exploitation?
One, we emphasize the sciences. We take part in the science congresses. We really emphasize and we make the girls come up with the ideas themselves, and then we support them in their projects. We try as much as possible to go the farthest we can. We also have music festivals that are done nationally and drama festivals. Again, we make sure that our girls take part. In the music and drama, we always go to the national level every year. And by so doing, we make the girls realize their potential. In drama, we have been doing films. In addition to dances, and next year we want to do a play. In music, we do mashairi, poems, and also acting. We also, other than that, we have clubs in school. Like I started by saying about the children not being equipped with the skills. For example, we have clubs like Art Club.
Art Club, yes, where they are taught how to draw
and writing. They draw, they paint, they write calligraphy, they sew, they knit, they crochet, and they come up with very nice, beautiful things. And some are shocked that they can do that because they have never been exposed. And I can assure you, Clinton, we have students who don't even know how to sew. She can't sew a button on her blouse. And so we teach them these things. We have Wildlife Club, where they do things like planting trees, taking care of animals, and it's beautiful.
Just out of curiosity, when you get that these students are able to perform maybe painting, what next? Once you identify the skill, what next for them?
We encourage them and their parents to further after Form 4 in our school. They go to colleges and we try to connect some. I can tell you of a girl who finished in the year 2012. And you know the other good thing about the talent, Clinton, we have some students who are talented academically, because we all know that it's not all of us who are endowed with academic skills and all that, but it doesn't mean you can't do anything else. So we had a girl who came to our school, and she was half blind, half deaf, half dumb. She could, all those things. But she was a very good artist. Because of being given an opportunity to draw and paint, she was able to come out artistically. Yeah. Actually, we have a painting she left in our school.
As a memento in your school?
Yes. She didn't do very well. I remember she got a D-. But after that, she was able to pursue, because the owners of the school were able to connect her to another college that offers that kind of a skill. And today, she's in Switzerland.
Wow.
And she makes a lot of money. And I remember one painting that was bought, and it was in the papers. We got to know about it. There's a person who bought her painting at 600,000.
Wow.
So we connect them with the people that we can, and the colleges and schools that they can go, and we encourage them.
So in other words, you're welcoming the new call of curriculum reforms, because we are aware that we are moving to competency-based curriculum. So you're saying this is a good thing and should come as soon as yesterday?
Yes, we recognize that, and actually we've started doing it, and so I believe that's the right direction to go.
That is
because we have a lot of children who have other talents, but because most of our education systems, they emphasize books
on performance.
Books. But life is not just about books. There are a lot of people who are making it in life, and they do not make it in school. Yes.
Wow, that is good. In terms of mentorship programs, so in other words, once you are able to connect them to the outside world, what are some of the mentorship programs you are able to run, maybe as a private girls' school? And what's your take on mentorship? Is it something that is important in our society?
It is very, very important. And if you are not doing it, then you're wasting your time teaching. I'm telling you for sure that books is not the answer. The child needs to identify herself.
Okay.
This girl needs to know who she is. She needs to know what she can do.
Okay.
And the problem we have with most of our girls in the society and women to a greater extent is that we feel inferior, we have low self-esteem, we believe there are things we can't do. So through mentorship, we make these girls believe in themselves. They have confidence. They carry themselves as ladies, but with the mentality that I can conquer. I can do anything I want. So what do? We invite as many speakers as we can, relevant speakers.
Don't you think you are inculcating a feminism attitude, in the girls?
Not really. Not really. I just want, there's time for everything. I also mentor young people up in boys' schools, and I encourage them to do the same, because we also have boys who don't believe in themselves. But now that I'm dealing with the girls, I want the girls to come out.
Come out and stand out.
Let's be honest. We have a lot of women who also believe, I can't drive, I can't do this, I can't reverse a car, I can't do this. We have to get rid of that.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. Thank you very much. We take a short break and we'll be back shortly.
Are you looking for a boarding school for your girl? Well, Compuera Mang'u Girls is a boarding school located in Juja, 5 kilometers from Juja-Thika Superhighway along Bob Harris Road. It is referred to as a city school in the countryside due to its conducive environment and its physical facilities that are superb. Compuera is founded on a Christian foundation but also accommodates other religious convictions. The school is secured with CCTVs, lighting system, and a backup generator in case the power goes off. We offer the 844 system for the girls at an affordable price. We have competent and qualified teaching fraternity who provide a one-on-one teaching approach to our students. We have fully equipped science and computer laboratory and well-stocked library. Games and sports like football, basketball, and hockey form an integral part of our co-curricular activities. We have several clubs and societies such as debate, drama, and Young Christian Union. The boarding facilities are spacious and luxurious with cubicles for 6 girls, each entailing hot water system. We also have a sanatorium with a qualified nurse who is always on duty 24 hours a day. Compuera Mang'u Girls High School has a farm that produces the foodstuff that are used to prepare the girls' meals. Compuera Mang'u Girls High School, successful education with a difference.
Welcome to Admissions 2018 program. We are from a commercial break, and with me is Madam Gladys Mwangi from Compuera Girls. Thank you. Just before we went on a break, we were looking at mentorship in our schools, and you say that it's a wake-up call that schools should partake on mentorship. In terms of financing of education, in the private sector, are you being financed by government?
No.
What is your take? Are you saying that we should have some capitation towards private schools, because all these schools are geared towards the education system of our country? What's your take in terms of, that is the government supposed to ensure that they facilitate private schools in one way or the other in some particular programs?
I believe there is a way they could help. If the financial help is available, it would be okay. But more than the finances, I believe in a way the private schools have been left out when it comes to the support from not necessarily government, but public institutions. I'm talking about, for example, the national examinations.
Yes.
In previous years, many years, because I've been a supervisor for KCSE for quite a number of years, and we find that the private schools were not being taken care of as far as transport for the examination was
facilitation.
So all the other schools were offered transport, but the private schools were not. So they were forced to make their own arrangements. Yet that time, every candidate was paying for the examination. Yes. So and that payment, I believe the money they pay includes every expense, including the transportation. Also, some other times, like when we have meetings, you will find that the private schools are treated like a burden.
They're excluded, in other words.
Not really. Like, let's say when we go for meetings, and the meeting is for principals,
yes,
you will hear the unspoken other tones of like the private schools are not really quality, they are not offering quality education, like we don't really matter. And I remember one meeting we had, and I had to stand up, and I said that I don't think it is fair that you keep blanketing the private schools and talking about them like that. I don't know, we hire Form 4 dropouts, we have no laboratory facilities, we don't have this, we don't have that. And I told them, let's talk about individual schools. And number two, if we hire unqualified teachers, whose work is it to inspect these schools? The Ministry of Education.
Yes.
So have you inspected these schools? And if you have, what have you recommended? When you keep claiming that we lack this, we lack that, how was this school first of all registered? Who registered it? The private schools don't register themselves. They are registered by the government. So even before we go to the financial support, I think we need to be accepted.
Actually, you're talking of goodwill. We need goodwill in our society so that private schools are also accepted as serious stakeholders.
Yeah, because I also believe that we offer quality education, and in a great way, we are important in the education sector, because if you come to our school, you will find that we don't take the top students.
Wow.
We take average students and below average students. And believe it or not, we produce better grades.
Wow.
Than kids who go to these other public schools with 400 marks, 390. You will come to our school. If you come right now, you will see a girl who came with 211 marks, finished 2015 with a big name.
Big plane.
That will not happen in a public school.
That is good. That is good.
So we have many who come with 200 plus marks, and they leave and go to universities.
So in other words, we are saying that private schools are also cutting out a special niche whereby they're taking care of the the wastage group in our society, those who are perceived to, be the waste from actually class 8. And this brings us to, the Form 1 selection. We've seen the government make a lot of strides towards, online, Form 1 selection, and they're saying we are moving away from the old model of print. So what is your take? Are you prepared in terms of Form 1 selection?
We are prepared, and we will always get students, whatever happens, because at the end of the day, I believe as a parent, because I'm a parent, I'm the one who knows what my child needs. So I will not necessarily take my child to a school because it is free. I will take my child to a school where I believe they will get the quality education.
That reminds me that, we've had a lot of, political promises, especially during the campaigns about the manifesto and all that we are going to have free secondary education. And I want to believe that this is a big devil in the room, especially for private schools. What is your take on that?
Yes, it could be, but I wouldn't see it as a big problem, like I said. Because even as we are speaking, we have a lot of students who are in private schools, yet they are public schools. Their education may not be free, but it is fair. The fees, the school fees is much
affordable.
It's affordable.
Yes.
Almost for majority of the parents. But they still take their kids to private schools. So at the end of the day, those who want to take them to private schools will still take them.
To private schools.
Yeah, so I wouldn't see it as a threat.
But we've seen the government allocate 20 billion in terms of infrastructure expansion in our existing public schools, and they want to introduce a concept of day streams. Is this a challenge? Is it going to pose a very big challenge on the private schools? Because bearing in mind a school like, for example, Alliance, which is a boarding school, will have day streams or Starehe. What is your take on that?
I believe it's a good idea, because there are children who are not able to access education simply because they can't be admitted to Alliance. And therefore, if Alliance opens doors for the day scholars, I believe the people from around that school will go to Alliance.
That means that we are going to suffer as the private sector.
I don't think so. Yeah, I really don't think so. Yeah, there may be a small negative effect, but I believe, Clinton, even today, we have a lot of students who leave public schools for private schools. In fact, if I tell you, our enrollment increases in Form 2 and Form 3 after parents have taken their children to big public schools like Alliances, Precious Blood, and these big schools, and then they realize that their children are not really coping, so they bring them back to the private schools. So they may offer that, and it is okay, because we have a lot of children who do not have access to education. But at the end of the day, the parent will make a decision.
So in other words, I was thinking of a concept of a private, transiting directly from private primary schools to private secondary to private universities. Is it a concept that you would welcome and say that that's the way to go?
100%. Because like I've told you, we get majority of our students join our school from Form 2 and Form 3. This is what happens. You take your child to a private primary school. They are taken care of. The ratio we talked about, 1-on-1. The facilities are just wonderful. And then you take this child from that school where she believed, let me talk about the girl, where she believed that the teacher is my father because he takes care of her as a father. The lady is my mother. But when you throw them into a public school, this public school, she finds herself in a class of 60.
Upside of enrollment.
Yes. The facilities are not that good. Can I give you an example of my own child? After leaving primary school, she went to a public school, one of the national schools. And then she was given a duty to wash the toilets and the bathrooms, and she had no idea how.
Wow.
She could not understand why. Why is she washing the toilets for other people? It has never happened. How do you make a student wash the toilets? So that creates a problem to most of the kids because they are unable to cope, they are unable to adjust to this kind of life. And some of them tell their parents and they transfer them. But there are those parents who believe my child must go to Alliance, my child must go to Nairobi school, my child must go and finish. So that the people in my village, in my estate can know that my child came from this big school.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, does that child get quality education? And apart from the quality education, what have you done to the character of that child? Because some of them become intimidated. Yes. Because I'm sure you agree that in most national schools and these big schools, the children who are admitted there, some come from rural areas. These are kids. These are kids who are hardened. They can face almost
life challenges and face
so when they come to a school where the resources are scarce, they are able to fight and get them. But the ones from private schools, they don't know how to fight. So what do? They quit. And with the time, they lose the self-esteem declines. So the child may come out with a name because maybe she has the brain. But what have you done to her?
In terms of skills, self-efficacy, the self-esteem, self-confidence, the critical thinking, and how to...
what I would urge parents is understand your child. It's not about a school.
Wow.
It's not about the name of the school. My daughter went to Alliance Girls. But it was good. But I still believe there are other things you can learn. There are other things you need. Other than the name of the school. And there's a statement I read somewhere which I like using that a crocodile, a lizard will be a lizard in Africa, it will be a lizard in America, it will never be a crocodile.
That is good.
So what you need is help your child. And the other thing, maybe if I may add, these children that we get in Form 2, Form 3, most of them are already messed up. The foundation of education in high school is done in Form 1 and Form 2. So she never really settled. So by the time you are bringing her to me in Form 3, I don't have time to go back to Form 1 and Form 2. So we try and we struggle. A lot. And you'll find that a child who had 389 marks leaves Form 4 with a C or a C+, which couldn't have been the case if she went direct to a private school. Yeah.
That's good. We are in technology is advancing and we are in the digital world. Are private schools embracing digital learning?
Yes, a lot. Our school is called Compuera. It means
computer age.
Yes. And so we are everything digital. We offer computer IT as a subject to everyone from 1 Form 2. After that, now they choose those who want to do computer business or French. We have computers in the library where they can do research, they can play software and learn, like mathematics and sciences, like you had asked earlier. We want our girls to believe they can do it. So we get CDs or other flash drives and they are able to learn mathematics or sciences using these gadgets. So we are all digital.
So that means that you've programmed your learning in terms of you have time allocated for IT, teachers are embraced, teachers have these soft skills to ensure that they teach the 21st century learners in
that's a requirement.
Wow.
Yes.
That's good. Maybe just to get to your opinion on performance, tracking performance. As a school, do you track performance, especially once Form 4s finish their KCSE, what happens? What next?
Let me first start by saying 90% of our students go to university.
Wow.
They get admitted, not parallel. I'm not saying it's parallel, I'll explain. They get direct public admission. But now, depending on the course or where the university is, you may decide to change. So for us, the first goal is to make sure that most of our students get admission, at least the requirement to enter to join university.
Which is currently a C+?
Yes, a C+.
Yeah.
And so that's what we do. After that, we have to follow them, not necessarily to get anything from them, but because they are our children. Okay. They are our products. So we want to follow up and see how they are doing. They are also very proud of their school, so they get back to us. So occasionally we invite them, like when we have prize giving or any other ceremonies in school, we invite a few of them. They come. We also have a few who want to come back and give back to the school. Give back to the schools.
That is good. So, in other words, do you have an alumni base at a school, or do you keep track of your alumni? What kind of activities do you have with them, probably outside the school calendar?
We don't have a body like alumni or old girls, but individually. We keep track and we can tell you where each one of them is, and they also keep communicating with the school. That is, the body is something we are working on. We want to form an alumni body
so that you are able to, have a database for those students who transit from your school, so that you're able to track.
Like it becomes a family out there that belongs to family.
I believe that is a good thing. We should have done it as soon as yesterday.
We are in the process of doing it.
Maybe we are approaching our national exams, and maybe something. Actually started for the KCSE, they've all done the orals. Maybe something for the KCP and KCSE.
I would just want to wish them well. And that if you don't get the marks or the grades you are expecting, that's not the end of life.
That's not the end of life.
Life has a lot more to offer.
What next?
Life has a lot to offer if you get the right people, the right school, and the right direction. Yes, all in all, I would want to urge the parents to try private, if you haven't, to try private schools.
There's something big in private schools.
Something big. You have no idea. Like when we are talking about the talent, I should also have mentioned that we embrace sports.
Wow,
sporting. We do games on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday it is from 4 to 5, from 4:30 to 5:30.
Yes.
Then on Sunday from 2 to 4. We also compete favorably with other schools, including public schools. Like we go for Mang'u Open, Alliance Open, my forces, and most of the times we are among the top. Like we've been in position 2 in the Open tournament at Alliance. After one time we were after Alliance Girls, who were number 2. Then the next time we were number 2 after Jabini Girls. Among the private schools, there's something called Kips and Sports Association. We've always been the champions in soccer girls, that is among the girls. Why sports? The sports helps the girl, first of all, the body. We care about how we look. And I believe that posture. Yes, every girl should be concerned about how the body looks.
The body looks,
Because it's not about other people seeing, but feeling good about yourself.
But they say brains without beauty. Beauty without brains,
Beauty without, no, the brains are there. So when you look good, you feel good. It's not about other people seeing you, but it's how you feel. I can dash, I can do things flexibly without struggling. 2, it helps the mental alertness. When this child plays, then she goes to bed, she sleeps very well. She wakes up with a mental alertness that is very good. She's able to perceive, the reception in class is very good. The mood is good. And health.
It improves the stimulus.
Health is improved. Yes. So then also we encourage the sleeping. I think there's something you have asked about our facilities. Our dormitories are very spacious. I've seen some schools where there are 3 beds that are very close to each other, and each bed has 3
deckers.
Yes, 3 deckers.
That's dangerous.
Ours are 2 very wide ones, and actually they use high density
mattresses.
The 3 inches. And we believe that when you sleep well, you wake up a happy person. It also contributes to your health. In fact, they say it is better not to eat. You'd rather miss your meal, but not miss your sleep. So we encourage our students to sleep minimum 6 hours. So all these is what I'm saying that really is offered. The school, the diet.
The school diet.
I don't know whether you're in public school, but I was in a public school.
I too was in a public school.
And the diet was the same from Form 1 to Form 4. I knew every Sunday it was rice and beans. Every Wednesday it was rice and beans. Saturday it was githeri. I don't know, Thursday it was githeri. But in our school, we changed the diets according to the times. Like in January, we don't offer as much ugali as we offer in second term. In first term, it's hot. So if you give them ugali and bika is hot, they will doze. They will be sleepy, they will be tired, they will be lax. So in June, July, the weather is cold. They need more food and more energy giving food. So again, we adjust the diet. Then also they require more. They want to eat more because of the cold.
That's good.
Yeah. And maybe finally I can say about where the school is. Our school is on Thika Road, along the super highway, exit 16, just before Mang'u High School. It's on your left.
Wow. Thank you very much. That has been our guest, Principal Compuera Girls, Madam Gladys Mwangi. I've been your host, Mr. Clinton Sukuru. Thank you very much for watching this program. See you next time.